I'll never forget the day of Adamma's wedding. It was supposed to be the happiest day of her life, but it turned out to be a day the entire village of Umuchikwu would speak of for generations. You see, weddings in our village are more than just ceremonies. They are grand celebrations filled with laughter, music, and dances that last long into the night. And Adamma, with her beauty and grace, was to be married to Chijioke, the bravest hunter in the land. Everyone believed it was a match blessed by the gods. The preparations began weeks in advance. Women pounded yam, brewed palm wine, and wove colorful aso-oke cloths for the occasion. The men slaughtered goats and prepared masquerade costumes for the Egungun dancers. Adamma's family compound was transformed into a dazzling display of festivity, with garlands of fresh flowers and strings of cowrie shells hanging from the thatched roofs. On the morning of the wedding, the village square was alive with the sound of talking drums, and a gentle Hamatan breeze carried the aroma of jollof rice and roasted meat. Everyone was dressed in their finest. Adamma emerged from her hut, radiant in her coral-beaded crown and a wrapper that shimmered like the evening sun. Her skin glowed, and her smile could make even the grumpiest elder chuckle. But there was something else about her, something we couldn't quite place. It was only later that we realized what it was. The ceremony began as usual. The elders poured libations to the ancestors, seeking their blessings for the couple. Chijioke, tall and strong, stood proudly beside Adamma, holding her hand. They knelt before the chief priest, Nze-Agwu, as he offered prayers in the ancient tongue. The villagers cheered as the couple was declared husband and wife. Everything seemed perfect until the sun began to set. It was then that a child cried out, pointing at Adamma. "She has no shadow." At first we laughed, thinking it was a child's imagination. But as the sun cast long shadows of trees, huts, and people, every single thing around us, we noticed it too. Adamma stood there, but there was no shadow beneath her feet, not even a faint outline. The laughter died. Murmurs rippled through the crowd, and soon the drummers stopped playing. "This is a bad omen," whispered Mama Akin, the oldest woman in the village. "A person without a shadow belongs to the spirit world." Chijioke, ever the courageous one, tried to calm everyone. "It is nothing," he said. "Adamma is my wife and I love her. The gods have blessed our union." But the villagers were not convinced. Even I, who had grown up with Adamma, began to feel uneasy. Nze-Agwu stepped forward, his staff of office gleaming in the fading light. He examined Adamma closely, muttering incantations under his breath. "This is not natural," he finally declared. "We must consult the oracle." The festivities came to an abrupt halt as the elders and the couple made their way to the shrine at the edge of the forest. The rest of us followed at a distance, our hearts pounding. The shrine, a small mud hut adorned with feathers and animal skulls, seemed darker than usual that evening. Nze-Agwu disappeared inside, leaving us to wait under the rising moon. When he emerged, his face was grave. "Adamma is not an ordinary woman," he said. "She is a child of the river spirits. Her shadow was taken as a price for her beauty and the blessings she has received. If she stays among us, misfortune will follow." Chijioke was defiant. "I will not abandon my wife. If she is a child of the spirits, then so be it. I will protect her." But the villagers were terrified. "The gods will punish us all," someone shouted. "She must return to where she belongs." That night, Adamma and Chijioke were confined to their hut as the elders debated what to do. Some suggested driving her away. Others feared angering the river spirits. Meanwhile, the once lively village square was silent, the air heavy with fear and suspicion. The next morning, Chijioke made a decision. "If my wife must return to the river, then I will go with her," he announced. "We will plead with the spirits together." The villagers watched as the couple walked hand in hand to the riverbank. Nze-Agwu accompanied them, carrying offerings of kola nuts, yams, and a white cockerel. The river, calm and glistening in the morning sun, seemed to hold its breath as they approached. Standing at the water's edge, Adamma knelt and began to sing a haunting melody, a song none of us had heard before. The river seemed to respond, its surface rippling as if something beneath was stirring. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the water, a woman with skin like polished ebony and eyes that shone like stars. It was the river goddess. "Why have you brought her back?" the goddess asked, her voice echoing like thunder. Chijioke stepped forward. "She is my wife. I love her and wish to live with her, but we need your blessing so she can stay among us." The goddess studied him for a long time before speaking. "You are brave, mortal. Few would stand before me for love. I will grant your request, but there is a price. Adamma's shadow will never return, and her life will be tied to the river. If she stays away from it for too long, she will wither and die." Chijioke agreed without hesitation. The goddess then turned to Adamma. "You are free to stay, but remember, the river is your true home. Visit often, or you will lose yourself." With that, the goddess disappeared, leaving the couple standing at the riverbank. The villagers, who had watched from a distance, slowly emerged from their hiding places. Though wary, they accepted Adamma and Chijioke back, albeit with a mix of respect and fear. In the years that followed, Adamma became a healer, using herbs and knowledge she claimed were gifts from the river. People traveled from far and wide to seek her help, and though she never cast a shadow, she brought light to many lives. Chijioke remained by her side, his love unwavering. Even now, when I stand by the river, I sometimes hear her song carried by the wind. It's a reminder that love and courage can bridge even the greatest divides, and that some mysteries are best left to the gods.